Hey, and welcome back to the Transparent Nature Podcast. It's your host, Prince Tate, and this is another career chat, bite-sized inspiration on the Transparent Nature Podcast. Today, we have a very special guest with us. In fact, she's no longer a guest. She's become a friend. Lashaunique, welcome back to the podcast.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to dive into today's topic.
Absolutely. Today, we're going to be talking about performance reviews. Oh,
Ugh.
those dreaded performance review. Lashaunique, we know these performance reviews are coming right around the corner for a lot of people. And a lot of people get super, super nervous. But not only that, they don't have a strategy, right?
Hmm.
So when you think about, and I know you've coached and you mentor a lot of people who are trying to pivot into HR or even grow within HR. But why do you think performance reviews, for so many people, it makes them nervous? And how can they shift their mindset around them?
Oh, such a great question. Yes. So, as someone who has gotten really nervous about performance reviews and seen so many people get nervous, it is nerve wracking. Okay, like let's just name it. Because at the end of the day, all the things you've done is being put on a sheet of paper, right? And then you're getting literally reviewed by your performance, right? And I
Hmm.
think that most people are nervous for so many factors. One, because we're hard on ourselves, right? And so we don't know what to
Yeah,
write, we don't know what to put. We feel like maybe we didn't accomplish anything, right? Sometimes it feels like I know I did a lot, like I executed
right.
a lot, I was busy all the time, but like, what did I actually accomplish that's enough to put on paper? If you've made mistakes, I know this was me. If I made a mistake, I'm feel like, I mean, they're gonna rip me to shreds in this performance review, right? If you've made mistakes, a lot of people feel like that might have outshadowed all the other things that they've done,
Yeah,
or if you truly just didn't actually meet the objectives, right? If you think about from because some performance reviews, there's like little data that you have to meet or performance metrics you have to meet. If you didn't meet those, again, even if you did a ton of work and you feel like you didn't meet those objectives, it can feel kind of daunting going into those conversations
yeah,
because you're like, what do I say? What do I do? But
right.
but one of the mindset shifts I always have had, and why I have created models and different frameworks specifically for the performance review, is that you can tell a story. You have to think about it like, what story do I need to tell? Right? And everything you did had some type of accomplishment or some type of impact or outcome. Even if you're reaching for the stars, there's a reason why you didn't get to the stars. Tell that part. Tell the challenges you overcome, right? I'll see a lot of people leave out all the stuff that they had to overcome to get to the places
Wow.
that they did. Yeah. So that's
Wow.
the mindset shift. And I'll just share I had an amazing manager where I went in, I was so tough on myself for one of my reviews, and I, like, marked myself, like, low on everything, and she was like, "Lashanique, I know you didn't meet these, but, like, you didn't talk about the things that you did accomplish with one," and that forever changed my perspective,
Wow.
and she rated me totally different than I rated myself, and from then, I was like, "It's about the story you tell. It's honestly about the story you tell."
No, absolutely. It is about story. But, a lot of times, and let me say this, even in our conversation today, when we talk about performance reviews, it's not just the annual performance reviews, but we're
Mhm.
also talking about the 90-day reviews, right? Um,
Right.
it's the same approach. A review is a review, right? So
Mhm,
you need
mhm.
to have a strategy when you come into when you know you're about to have it. But I think one of the biggest gaps that I see is a lot of times people don't know, especially if this is like your first or the organization, a new organization that you're working for,
Mhm.
and this is or maybe a new position. A lot of times
Right.
people don't know what they're being rated on until they have
Ugh.
to do the performance review. So what suggestion would you give to people for them to maybe start looking into, okay, what's going to be on, I like to say, what's going to be on the test?
Yes, yes, yes. And that one is that breaks my heart a lot of times, right? Because as HR, we are helping the organization a lot of times set up the goals for the year, and then we get into the year and we forget like where we started, right? And what the objectives we put for ourselves. And even if you don't have formal objectives, because I am seeing a lot more people with companies that don't have formal objectives, I still encourage all my clients who don't have formal processes to make sure they understand, okay, what are some of the milestones and things that I should be meeting. And so if you're in self, because right now I know self review is kicking off, don't fret. Just go back to those initial conversations, some of those initial town halls information, and just look at what was the vision, right? What were some of those emails that came on the newsletters, and what was the original vision, and then start to tell your story around that. But if you have formal objectives, right, don't forget about those and make sure that you're telling the story around those, because otherwise that's what you're going to be rated on. And a lot of people do forget about that for sure. That's a great point. I'm glad you brought it up.
No, absolutely. And I think for a lot of people, like you really, in your one on ones with your leader, just ask them, hey, I, I like to get ahead and want to be prepared for my performance review. Can you
Mm,
remind me what are the objectives, right? What am I being rated on? And oftentimes it's always a template depending on the level of your position.
100%.
And most of the times, just because you're in HR doesn't mean you own it, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
maybe one person owns it in your HR organization, or maybe it's a specific department, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
whether you're in HR or not,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
you need to go to your leader and ask them just straight out, hey, what I like to say, what's the questions on the answer? What's the questions on the
Right?
test? Right?
Yeah, that's
But
so good, so good.
yeah, and I think a lot of times we don't think about that. By the time
Mhm,
performance review come, it's like, oh my God, now I gotta rate myself. But I'm gonna tell you this, as we
mm,
talk about rating, as you prepare to rate yourself, there's other steps you need to do before going into the performance review. So Lashani,
yes,
help our listeners to understand what are some things they want to do before the performance reviews. Maybe these are things, these are items that they're
mhm.
focusing on before, maybe 6 months before. What are some things they should
Ooh,
do before the review?
yeah, yeah, so if you're proactively thinking about next year, right, you're like, "Okay, how do I make this happen? How do I make my review seasons go better, feel better?" 6 months before definitely is a check-in meeting with your leader, right? Again, to your point, gathering what's going on, what has changed, do you see our priorities, have they shifted, right? Really gathering that information so that you continue to stay on track. I can't tell you how many leaders at the end of the year forgot to change the objectives, forgot to change those things. And then they're like, but I can't rate my team on this. Right. Where I'm like, well, if somebody could be proactive, like, so for me, that was something I always did check in, like, hey, are we still on the same path? The second thing I always encourage is stakeholder feedback. So always have check-ins either right before the review itself or at some point again, either that 6 months to 3 months before your review, get stakeholder feedback. That's important because you're going to gather perceptions about you. You're going to gather what people think you did great, what people think didn't go so great, and you have time to turn those perceptions around and make sure you capture and gather those in your performance review. The other thing that I like to do is I do like to your point, I like to win the meeting before the meeting. And so I'm always checking in with my leader from a couple perspectives. One that we haven't touched on is I like to know how they're rating themselves.
Yeah.
Like, tell me, how are you rating yourself? Like, what did you feel like you accomplished? What do you feel like you missed? And whether I agree with them or not, it gives me data and information to know how I should then position myself, or the polite challenge that I might have to their perspective, right? So
Mhm.
those are some of the ways that I kind of think about how you want to move forward. It's always checking in, it's always stakeholder, and then it's definitely multiple conversations with your leader.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more.
Mm.
Lashani, you created this thing called the HR Mentorship Summit. And I mean, like, you create this summit that we're about to go into in just what, not even 30 days.
Yeah.
So, how does this play into when we talk about uh, mentorship and performance reviews? How can mentors help
Mm.
their mentees grow professionally, but at the same time be prepared for their performance review?
Yeah, yeah. So one, I think when it comes to review season, and like I said, us being hard on ourselves, anyone being hard on themselves, sometimes it's good to tap into others and tap into others that have noticed your work throughout the year, that have seen you work, know your strengths, because honestly, the biggest thing that I see what helps people feel way more comfortable in the review season is when they start to remember everything that they did, right? They're like, oh, yeah, I forgot I did that. So if you're not a good person, somebody that's good at tracking everything, or go to your mentors, go to your peers, go to the people that are going to help hype you up. And so if you do come to the HR Mentorship Summit, which you should, because our host, Prince Tate, will be there and he will be
Yes.
talking about his amazing strategies for coming into an organization and talking about your reviews and your performance, um, definitely lean into your community, into your mentorships, whether they're inside the organization or outside of the organization. And I'm just excited for
Mhm.
everybody to be loved on at this summit and to get the mentorship and the advice they need so they can feel empowered during the review season and beyond and beyond.
Oh, absolutely. I'm super excited. You've already broke the news. I'll be a guest speaker at the HR Mentorship Summit, and I'm super excited. This is really a great opportunity because I have some, I like to call it power skills that I want to
Mm,
share that can
mm,
help people be prepared during any type of review they're going into, right?
mm,
And when we talk about going into a performance review and being prepared, there is what I like to call you have to have a strategy.
mm,
You
mhm.
cannot walk into a performance review and just expect this to be, again, a report card. But you have to be proactive. And I'm super excited to share those skills, to share some strategy with those who attend the HR Mentorship Summit. Look, you do not want to miss it because I have some strategies and I'm going to share my story on from when I started, from, what did I do? What did I realize? What is something I wish someone told me from the
Mm.
beginning so I can win and receive exceeds expectations every single time, regardless
Woo!
if that's a 90-day review, regardless if that's a annual performance review. I'm going to give some tips, some tricks. I'm going to give you everything I've got in that
Woo!
moment so you can seed so you can succeed in your career.
Amazing, amazing. I
so
can't wait. I know I'm excited.
so I got one more question for you. If you could give one piece of advice to any professional that's listening today, whether they're a senior leader, a leader, entry level employee, regardless of the level they're in, what would that be regarding their performance review?
Give yourself more credit. Give
I
yourself more
love it.
credit. Give yourself more credit. That's probably the number one coaching advice and mentorship that I have to give for all aspects of like performance review and perform like just thinking about impact. Give yourself more credit.
Mm, I love that. And you know what? That's something I'm going to talk about at the HR Summit, right? How do
Amazing.
you speak up for you and showcase your power skills?
Mhm.
so I'm
I love it. I
I'm
love it.
super excited and I can't wait for it. If you're listening, make sure you sign up. Lashaunique, how can they sign up to attend this virtual
Yes,
event?
yes. Absolutely. So you can go straight to my LinkedIn, Lashaunique Plummer, and you can see easily how to sign up there. Otherwise, if you go to balangize.com/mentorship summit, you'll be able to sign up right there. And yeah, there's if you sign up for my newsletter, you'll get information, but all that's the best way, the easiest way, just go straight to my LinkedIn page and you'll be able to sign up.
And you know what? If you just don't know how to spell her name, guess what? You can also go to my page because I'm going to be sharing it. I'm going to be promoting it, and you will see my beautiful face on that flyer. Well, I love it. I love it so much. Thank you so much for all of the great insights that you shared today. Again, for this quick chat, bite size inspiration. And again, if anyone is listening, if this conversation resonated with you, make sure you join us at the HR Mentorship Summit. I'll be speaking again at this summit about the power skills you need for growth. And I promise you that this session is really going to help you level up on how you approach any type of review. It's going to really, really help you. So make sure you attend. But I want to say this as we end. Thank you so much, Lashaunique, for joining us today. Thank you for being, again, not just a guest, but
Mm.
my friend in HR.
No, yeah.
It's Prince Tate, and until next time, keep navigating your career with clarity and with confidence. See you on the next episode.